edition of Grown and Sexy, Singles Over 40. I am your host, DeShannon, and I am so grateful that you're taking the time out just to spend that with me. I do not take it for granted. So go ahead and tag somebody. Let them know Grown and Sexy is on right now. And while you're doing that, go ahead and go over to the Hope TV. Go ahead and subscribe to everything that they've got going on, because there's something for everyone there. They've got kids shows. They got financial literacy. They've got things for your mental health. They've got things, inspiration. Pastor's got some amazing sermons on there. They've got something for the older, seasoned a little bit folks. They've got something for the kids. They've got something called No Cap. And listen, I'm 51. I don't even know what that means, but I know it's for the kids. But listen, whatever you're looking for, you can find it on the Hope TV. So, but tonight, y'all know, when I bring a guest on, I want them to come with the fire. So I've got Sean Marcus. He's back. Sean Marcus, speak up with Sean Marcus. And we're going to continue the conversation because, yes, we are grown and sexy. We're single. We might be over 40, but we're trying to live the best version of our lives. We're not trying to sit at home and rock in a rocking chair way before it's time. We want you to be informed on how to live this stage, this next phase. We want you to live beyond good. And that's what I brought Sean back for part 2. So now, you know, we just got a little intro in with him, and the 30 minutes went so fast, I had to bring him back. So welcome back, Sean.
Thank you very much. Good to be back.
Okay, so I always just call him Sean, and he's really Sean Marcus.
Thank you.
So look at the bottom of the screen and do all of his things too. Go follow him and everything. So, but what I want us to talk about tonight, we really started talking about life last week. Mm-hmm. We started talking about, you know, accountability and being responsible for teaching our young people coming up the truth, not just the glorified stories. We talked about a little bit of, we just got a little bit into it, but I saw something that you had on your platform that said something about the Jetsons.
Oh, yeah,
theory.
Most definitely.
And so it was, I mean, first you set it up with a clip. So if you guys remember the Jetsons, so don't play like y'all didn't watch Saturday morning cartoons. Don't do that. Don't play like it wasn't the Flintstones first, and then we watched cartoons, because for us, they didn't come on every day, all times a day. You either had to catch it right after school or Saturday morning.
That's exactly the truth.
And so that's where we learned about the Jetsons. So tell us overall what that means, and then we're going to dive into some of your bullet points.
Okay. Well, definitely. The Jetsons, like you said, we all grew up with the Jetsons, and it was fabulous. The Jetsons was the most technically advanced type of situation that we could possibly have, because it was futuristic, right?
Yeah.
So the Jetsons, everybody wanted to be able to, the best thing about the Jetsons was pushing a button and be able to get a meal, steak and potatoes right then, or actually, George was talking to his boss on the phone.
Yeah, he was, and video conferencing.
Video conferencing, you know, the maid running around, the robot. You got robots now.
Yeah.
You got microwaves. So the thing is with the Jetsons, so I named it Jetsons Love. And it's simple because in this new era that we're in this new microwavable society that we're in, Jetsons just fit because we wanted to be that. But the problem is, now that we have it, with all that responsibility and technology, you have to be responsible.
Ooh, let's talk about that, because we do have a lot of technology. I mean, my 3-year-old grandson can work any device that I have without being taught.
That's right.
You know, sometimes we have to kind of fumble our way through, and but it's so accessible. So how has technology changed the course of how we interact as people?
Please.
What is dinner like?
See this hand?
Yeah.
See this phone?
Yes.
Everyone, you see this? This is called Club 5 Fingers. And what this does is it gives us the opportunity to be able to reach anyone in the world with just a click.
Yeah.
So when you say, what's the difference? Well, I remember we used to have to go on a date to meet somebody. I remember we had to go to the club and see
Or
people.
go to the next town that was only like 20 miles away.
Well, yeah, I don't know nothing about that, but anyway.
Oh, well, see, I'm from the country. Okay, guys, I'm from a small town in Alabama, and to meet people, you had to go to the next town to meet them because
That's
you had a
right.
landline and you had to call, and you had to be at home to be on the phone.
Remember calling the operator to break up the call so
Oh,
you
no,
could get in?
we didn't have that.
Oh, yeah, we had operators. We would call, because you had a one-way line. It was before three ways were out. So the line would be busy. So you would have to call the operator and say, hey, operator, interrupt that call and tell them I'm calling.
Oh, wow.
It was things like that. But anyway, so Jetsons Love, it's just it really just reflects what's really happening in our society. So
Okay.
when you say the dating pool and the different things, and I say Club Five Fingers, it's just because it's simple. You know, long as I push a button, I can talk to someone in California. That was
Yeah.
never able. And
Yeah.
not just that, but we can video Skype.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're meeting a stranger or
Yeah.
anything. Actually, you on the phone with them, it's almost like a real date, you know?
Right, because there are virtual dates now.
Exactly. You can go out to dinner. You can have dinner at the same
Yeah.
restaurant. I'm in another town and we're doing the dinner.
Yeah.
You can make it fun, but with that technology and with the modernization of life, you have to have the responsibilities as well, because it's so easy. And so many options, you have to be careful how you treat people, because now you don't have as much skin in the game,
Yeah.
nor do you have the time and patience as relationships used to build, because it was time and patience. Now it's like swipe left, swipe right. I don't like this about you, swipe left, you know?
Well, I mean, because, you know, guys, I'm transparent to a fault. And y'all know I'm just out here in these dating streets. It's new to me. So I was in a committed relationship, a lot of you guys know, for a very, very long time. And so the rules are so different for me just in interacting with just people. You've got people that immediately wants to jump into a relationship, like on date one. And then there's people that want to do relationship stuff without being committed in a relationship. And so when you were talking about the Jetsons, everybody wants it now, or you have so many options, is the options, though, is having that many options, is that serving people well?
No. Well, one, having opportunity and options always can serve you, but
Okay.
when the problem is because you are in a different pool and you are in modern technology. See, it was different. When we went to a club or a church or different things like that and met people, we were in our lane. We were in our comfort zone. So now, because somebody can talk to you from Europe that you never met, that can be completely opposite than you are, you have to learn how to filter. So when ladies like yourself getting all these DMs and men in your DMs, or ladies in men's DMs, you know, you have to know how to filter it, because you're getting people that normally would have never said anything
Never.
to you in life. They would have never
Well, had the
that.
opportunity, they wouldn't know I exist.
Exactly. But even sometimes, even would have had the courage to say anything to you. So people are stepping up to you that's in another level, from another game, or from another plan. You know what I mean? It's like, to me, it should be levels like lanes. One lane should have this. If you're single and you're looking for this, fine, kick it, have fun. Another lane should be for people that's more serious, right? More involved with wanting to have a relationship, right? So if you're a single person and you just love to kick it and vary off into different relationships and do that, and fine. If you're a person that's single but you want more of a committed type relationship and you're looking for more longevity, then you stay in lane two. The problem is when you cross over the lanes, and usually to cross over the lane, you have to lie. And when you lie, that's when it's hurting someone's feelings.
Okay, so like I said, I be talking about me because that's the only reference point I have,
Okay.
right? So what I'm finding is extremes on both lanes. So I had just the other day, somebody sent me a friend request.
Okay.
I was like, I'm trying to build up my social media presence. And so, and then it could promote the show as well. And so it was a guy, and he looked nice, his picture looked nice. And so within seconds, I had a message.
Okay.
The message said, I'm a high value man. I'm a 5.0 man, and I don't chase women. I was like, sir, I don't even know you.
Right.
Like, is that the
That was the
opening?
first thing he said.
Didn't say hello, nothing. And I guess he was trying to, I don't know. So because I'm new to these dating streets and I'm out here in Atlanta, Georgia, I don't know what's going on half the time, right? But I thought that was odd. That was like really, I didn't even know what a 5.0 man is. Like, let's just say that. And then I've just recently heard about this high value man that's supposed to make six figures. I make six figures. That don't mean nothing to me. I mean, it's like, that is not a catch for me.
Right.
because
you're already there.
Right. So I
Exactly.
was like, is that how you open up a conversation? I thought that was odd. And then the flip side of that is you accept a request or you get a message in and they start talking about, oh, I want to marry you and I'm in love already. And I'm just like, I see the extremes on both ends. It's like, is anybody getting to know each other?
Well, that was another segment called Be Friends First. You know, but that's the thing. And that goes back to the whole 5 fingers.
What I've learned is sometimes it's best not to say a whole lot at all
Yes, Lord.
when people are going through, because you can mean
Yes,
well,
yes.
but you can say
You just don't
the
know.
worst
thing in the world.
thing,
Yeah.
trying to be deep
Sure,
and trying to be retrospective.
Yes.
So, but for what could somebody who's going through something say to somebody and say, well, yeah, you just got to kind of move on.
Oftentimes they're uncomfortable with where you are, and that has more to do with them than it does you.
People will share their testimonies and stories about having purchased a home, and then they'll pull equity out of that home and maybe purchase a duplex, and then they'll rent that out and start making more money, and they're taking equity out of that and they're buying a small building that has multiple units. Could you kind of bring that to life for us a little bit?
Yeah, even though you have a house, if you have equity in it, you can utilize that equity to go and do other things with it. Don't look at it as being overwhelmed. I tell the entrepreneurs, just have a partner like a realtor that knows the steps, and we'll be there to walk you through every single step of the process.
One of Dr. Gino's strengths in his preaching to me is his ability to situate the listener.
Transition is hard. In fact, I dare say that it's one of the most difficult things to do. And I mean, in a real sense, it is so hard that in one it produces fear.
You pick an image that we all can relate to. What do you love most about your practice of African American preaching? Go.
My practice of African American preaching is steeped in Zora Neale Hurston's Negro expression. When we sing a song, it's sung a lot differently. When we do a dance, it's done a lot differently. When we preach a sermon, it's done a lot differently because we take it through our struggle and we adorn it and beautify it. And we've had to dare to find God and mine hope so that we might be able to know that the trouble that we go through doesn't last always.
It's too easy for people to get in touch with you
Yeah.
or to get into your space or even in your world a little bit, people that normally wouldn't be there. So just like you said, that's all weird to you. And the first thing this guy said, because people are, you're dealing with people from everywhere.
Literally.
Literally.
He was from Chicago.
Yeah, and it's just...
I'm from Alabama. I was like, I don't know nothing
It just
about what
didn't
he's
mix
talking.
right,
It really,
you know?
I thought that was so weird. But let's go back to this Jetson thing. Accessibility.
And you were talking about the high value man part.
Well, I mean,
you good with that?
I think I understand what that's supposed to mean, or it's like they're supposed to be the prize for everybody is supposed to be wanting. But again, those things are normal for me. That's not, I mean, you're supposed to have a good job, don't you? You're supposed to be able to have your own stuff. So that really, none of those things.
But so many women have put their value into looking for that because it's another cliche. It's just like they love yourself first, which we do need to do, of course. But the high value man and the six-figure income, in all honesty, 20% or less people make six figures. 20%. So, you know, whether you make it or what have you, 20% less than that, 15% make six figures. So if you're looking at that and you have women that now that's what they're all going after, how many men out there with that?
Well, I mean, and that's because they have the options. That's where a lot of these people are finding their feelings hurt, or they're not getting what they're looking for because they've excluded a whole millions of people.
The majority.
Yeah.
I mean, so you
okay.
got everybody looking for 5% of the people. And it's
Yeah.
not, and women are outnumbering men
Right.
two to 3 to 1 anyway.
Yeah.
So that's not a good strategy that I would think, you know, it's more so.
Or it's not serving well, and it's inflating egos on the opposite side of that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
now you
because,
feel like you've made it or arrived to a
or
certain
you can
level.
treat people any kind of way because you've got options. If you don't do what I need you to do, there'll be 10 other people in line.
Well, most people with money a lot of times often feel that way. You know, feel like they have a little bit more of a power thing. And I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of people do. The more money you have, the more people will deal with your stuff.
Well, they'll put up with more.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
All right?
Okay. I wonder if is anybody out there willing to put up with me?
I'm sure they are.
I mean, listen, I'm trying to get
A
out
Southern
these.
belle like yourself, I'm sure they
I'm
are.
trying to get out these dating streets. Y'all got an uncle, you know, cousin, somebody, because I am too traditional. I am a traditional female, and evidently that's not in
It's
right
rare.
now. that's not in.
Why don't you think that's-
I still cook. I still fix plates. I still check and say, "You all right? You good?"
Of course.
And so me and Sean had a business lunch the other day, and I kept checking
Oh,
on
my
him.
goodness.
And
You
he
know,
was like, "There's nothing wrong," but that's just who I am.
But you're a nurturer.
I
And you're
am.
very attentive, you know, and that is lacking today. I mean, you tell a woman to cook or do this or do that or be submissive, it's like a 4-letter word. It's like an insult.
Well, I think the submissive, the definition of that has been just convoluted. And because a woman will submit to the right man.
That's right.
You know, and will let him lead you if you're going somewhere.
Right.
But I'm not going to let you lead me down a black hole.
That's right.
I'm going to kick and scream against that.
And you should.
But to the right man that's going somewhere, I think more women than not would let a man lead them.
And I get that, but with some of the movement, it seemed like some women find it insulting.
Well, I'm sure it could be because it depends on what that means. I understand roles and responsibilities, and maybe that because sometimes they're using the word submission derogatory, making you do things that you would never do just because I said do them. And a lot of times they find it in sexual situations. And that's off-putting.
Oh, okay. Well, that's, yeah, it's a whole other level.
So, yeah, and so I think the whole term has just...
Yeah, but we got to be honest. A lot of that as well is mixed with they don't want to be, they don't believe.
I don't want to be told what to do. I bring my own table.
You bring your own.
I got my table. What you got?
But let me show you this.
What?
Men want traditional women.
What I've learned is sometimes it's best not to say a whole lot at all
Yes, Lord.
when people are going through, because you can mean
Yes,
well,
yes.
but you can say
You just don't
the
know.
worst
thing in the world.
thing,
Yeah.
trying to be deep
Sure,
and trying to be retrospective.
Yes.
So, but for what could somebody who's going through something say to somebody and say, well, yeah, you just got to kind of move on?
Oftentimes they're uncomfortable with where you are, and that has more to do with them than it does you.
People will share their testimonies and stories about having purchased a home. And then they'll pull equity out of that home and maybe purchase a duplex. And then they'll rent that out and start making more money. And they're taking equity out of that and they're buying a small building that has multiple units. Could you kind of bring that to life for us a little bit?
Yeah, even though you have a house, if you have equity in it, you can utilize that equity to go and do other things with it. Don't look at it as being overwhelmed. I tell the entrepreneurs, just have a partner like a realtor that knows the steps, and we'll be there to walk you through every single step of the process.
One of Dr. Gino's strengths in his preaching to me is his ability to situate the listener.
Transition is hard. In fact, I dare say that it's one of the most difficult things to do. And I mean, in a real sense, it is so hard that in one it produces fear.
You pick an image that we all can relate to. What do you love most about your practice of African American preaching? Go.
My practice of African American preaching is steeped in Zora Neale Hurston's Negro expression. When we sing a song, it's sung a lot differently. When we do a dance, it's done a lot differently. When we preach a sermon, it's done a lot differently because we take it through our struggle and we adorn it and beautify it. And we've had to dare to find God and mine hope so that we might be able to know that the trouble that we go through doesn't last always.
Men want to not compete against another man or another masculine energy. Now, I'm not saying that that's wrong for women, but because men have put women in a predicament to be more masculine.
Right.
So I definitely understand that.
Well, I think...
But men still like a soft.
Well, I mean, if for like
In
a
some
person like
cases.
me, because we're talking about me, that's my reference point. I lead people all day. I'm in leadership roles all day long. I don't want to do that at home.
That's right.
I really don't.
How many people know how to take off that
I
cloak,
don't know,
though?
but listen, guys, if you're out there, I understand. And so I want to move on to the next show, Marriage Matters or something.
Exactly.
But but until then, I'm gonna be grown and sexy. But I'm telling you, I am a traditional person who has done well in my career. But at the end of the day, you're
gonna be all right.
I'm gonna be
You're
okay.
gonna be all right.
All right, so
You know why?
why?
Because you really do believe in traditional values.
I do.
And ways. And a lot of us were raised that way. And a virtuous woman is still good.
Oh, so you trying to make me feel good?
A little bit.
A little
You know,
bit.
yeah.
Okay, okay. So, speak up with Sean Marcus. You want people to know what? If they just saw something really quickly, what are you wanting them to know that you're trying to do?
Basically, just let them know that although the world is, we're at battle, we're at war. It seems like it's almost a civil war of love in our community sometimes as far as battling men and women. But just to understand that although problems can seem very large, they're not that large. It's the smaller things. Just do smaller things and it'll add up to bigger things. Just take your time. Take your time. Focus on what's happening.
Yeah.
You know, focus on actually hearing a relationship, being friends first. And the reason that I say be friends first is because when you got skin in the game, when you taking time to know someone, okay, now we can get in and get out and get in there and have sex real quick. It means nothing.
Right.
Right? And then you'll ghost a person like that. But when you take time to actually know that person, know a little bit more about them, spend more quality time, you build a friendship. Once you build the friendship, you can't just walk away and ghost them because now they mean something to you. They might not be in love with you, but now we're friends. So now you don't get ghosted or you don't get disrespected. And the one thing we've all lost, I think, is the respect for each other. The respect. Once we can earn that back, the relationships will start coming back.
Thing because
Respect.
the things that you know, I could separate feelings from facts, and a lot of people can't do that. So me and you can argue, but we still good.
That's right.
Like we not just going,
That's
just
right.
oh, I ain't gonna talk to you no more. It's like over one thing. Like even the argument can be bad, but can't we come?
You have to know how to come back.
You got to know how to come back. So I just know that your platform is going to help like so many people. And because you grown and sexy.
I'm grown.
You cute. Y'all see him. He's handsome over there.
What's up now?
He's good. Oh, no, Lord, he done started them prison poses. But listen, we really, really, really want you to be living your life well. I mean, it's one thing to be grown and sexy, but how are you gonna live this next phase of your life? What have you learned? You're already over 40, whether you're 40, 50, 60, or beyond. What do you learn today? Because you should always be learning. You should always be doing something better. You should always be making yourself better than you were. You're only in competition with you.
That's right.
But when it becomes with relationships, whether they're friendships,
That's right.
business relationships, personal ones, there's got to be a point where we mature enough to agree to disagree.
That's right.
We mature enough to not lie about what we want out of each other.
That's true. Don't lie.
And if it changes, guys, if it changes, have a conversation. Because what if, like you say, if me and Sean were dating and decided we don't really like each other to date, but we're really cool business partners, can't we just have that conversation
We
without splitting? This is what we're talking about, being grown. That's the grown part of it. Because we can be sexy and immature, but we're talking about being grown. And I'm good and grown. But I still want to be sexy because I have a lot of sexual energy. But I want to be mature enough to handle any relationship, whether it goes the way I want to or not. So that's what Speak Up with Sean Marcus is doing.
Just nice and easy. Take your time.
Take
Don't
your
make
time.
it too complicated.
Right.
Relax into it. You know what I mean? I think we're too bitter. We're too wound up. It's too much betrayal. It's too much pain and too much hurt that we've all have been through, right? And we just got to calm it on down.
Well, and I like that because, you know, we're about to wrap up another show, but I'm finding people are discarding people too easily. You're giving up too easy.
Because of the technology.
You know, because there's always somebody else.
It's always
somebody else.
The next person is
and,
there.
And I think the danger in that, though, guys, is that you are still going to come home to that empty house. See, the guys I'm running into are finding people to go out with, but I want to provide you somebody to come home to.
Okay.
That's different.
No, it really is. And
That's different.
But that's what a lot of people want. But it's so many people mixing. Like I said, stay in a lane.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
We cannot go into that because we're about to wrap up this segment. But guys, this is what Grown and Sexy is doing. It is providing you with some information that you can use, that you can start talking about with your friends, your guy friends, your girlfriends at work. We want to keep the dialogue open because nobody's catering to our age group, that we've learned some lessons.
We have.
And now
Well, some people have.
Are we applying them?
That's right.
So
That's right.
thank you so much, Sean Marcus, for hanging out with me for 2 shows. This has been another edition of Grown and Sexy, Singles Over 40 on the Hope TV. Guys, if you're not on Hope TV, you are missing out. There is something for everyone on Hope TV. I'm talking about you can get all the programming you need. There's like 12 or 13 hours of programming per day. So listen, for positive things, we're not going to go into the narrative that it has to be negative. We're giving you news and stuff that you can use, information that you can use. So again, my name is DeShannon. Follow me on all social media, so DeShannon Speaks, and contact me. Let me know what you would like to talk about. But what you're looking for, you can find it on the Hope TV. So thank you guys for joining us for another edition of Grown and Sexy. This is my sexy look, guys. Singles Over 40. Until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.
Thank you.